Hello and welcome back to the Riller Revolutions meta episode for the end of week 3. This is where we go over all the deaths for characters and where I can show you what's going on with the custom characters who are in the game. So, for this week we had no new custom characters added. They should all be added for next week, and I'll delay putting out the next episode of next week if that means we get the custom courtiers in. And I'm going to open it up. If you want to create a new custom courtier, if your custom courtier has died, you can do so. Now, this is with a few caveats. One, there is no guarantee on the time that they will be added. Same with all of them now, but they will also be lowest priority because I want to give new people a chance to create their courtiers before adding in any new ones. That's about it. So, I'm going to get into going over all of the deaths now, and there are quite a few this week. The first dead character that we have this week is Barton Celtigar. Now, he became a follower of R'hllor when he was captured by pirates, and a blazing inferno struck down the ship, killing everyone on board except him. When he washed ashore, he found a priest who explained to him that this must have been the will of R'hllor, and that he should embrace the Lord of Light. And he did, by burning down the priest's house. And it turns out that burning things was ultimately his demise, as he died from drinking wildfire. Next up we have Thomas Lannister. When he got cancer and was sent to the wall, people thought that was the end of him. People thought that they'd never hear from him again. He was a dwarf, he was ugly, the girls didn't like him no matter how much he tried. But he was ambitious, he tried to get stuff done. He organized a wildling army up there beyond the wall, and he almost succeeded. He almost succeeded in creating a kingdom all the way up here, and this was almost all his. He was ready to attack the Night's Watch, but he got captured, he lost, and he was eventually beheaded by the person he was fighting against, Chief Gorn, who by the way was actually hanged on by the Septim Amori. So a Septim murdered him. Weird, and the Septim had cancer. It all links together. Next up we have Frederick Bolton, the son of the Lord of the Dreadfort, the heir. However, he did not like the flaying and the cruelty and all of the things that go with being a Bolton. He wanted to put an end to it. He wanted the name to be revered instead of feared. And I guess he didn't succeed. He got into drinking, and he was probably in a little bit of a depression, and eventually he drunk himself to death. Next up is Duncan Swan, who was raised in court and a bit ridiculed. He kept to himself, not really talking to anyone. Kind of a little bit of a shut-in, but he wanted to be a great warrior, and he became a very good warrior. In fact, we were working with him to put him in charge of the land that Swan told that I totally remember, the Red Watch. Yeah, we were trying to put him in charge of the Red Watch, and it was going well. We were succeeding. He enjoyed hunting, and yeah, unfortunately he just died of poor health. There was not much like anyone could do. Next up we have Victor Mertens, who is also someone we were trying to help. We were trying to put him in charge. His son is now, I believe, married to the current lord of the Mertens land, which would be the Lordship of Mistwood. But yeah, Victor was once exiled actually for defying the Lord Paramount, which would have been Robert. However, he did come back. He earned his way back in, and maybe through a few bribes from R'hllor, he managed to get back in a place where we were really preparing him for power. We were preparing one of our nearby neighbors. We're going to have this little corner of the Stormlands all to ourselves. Unfortunately, he got wounded, and that wound led to an infection, and that led to his death. Next up we have Aemon Dane, who was an honourable man who, when all of the other Danes were getting lots of lands and titles, kept to his duty. He married a noble lady, he had a daughter, and he basically led a very honourable and good life for, yeah, in service of his family, and he was a relatively good fighter for them. He unfortunately died of poor health and just passed away naturally. Next up we have Damien Tarley, who set out beyond the Sunset Sea on a journey to find out what was there. Unfortunately, his journey was cut short when he started to develop a little bit of a rash, and after several weeks of scratching, he eventually passed away from the illness. Next up we have Glendon Fossaway, who, while fighting in the Greyjaw rebellions, lost his hand, and was nursed back to health by a red priest named Becoro, who claimed to be Valentine. And after a couple of weeks of being there under his care, Becoro eventually converted him to, well, R'hllor. And Glendon Fosway returned back home, and he led a pretty good life. He was trying to convert his fellow Fosways. The Red Apple Fosways are known to be a little bit cruel, a little bit stubborn, not nearly as good as the Green Apple Fosways. And unfortunately, he got wounded again, presumably because he wasn't as good a fighter because he lost his hand. And that led to an infection, which led to his death. Next up, we have Jane Tyrell, who is known throughout the land as an adulteress and a sinner. She was married to the Lord Paramount of the Vale, Lord Paramount Robert, I believe. Yes, Lord Paramount Robert. And it seemed to be going well. It seemed like they had a child, they had an heir, everything was going fantastically, until it turned out that the child was not his. Jane Tyrell was known to entertain many hedge knights, and one of the hedge knights was in fact found dead in her bed, burned alive. Nobody quite knows how Jane got out of there unscathed, but that did lead to the investigation that eventually led to her daughter being disinherited. However, things have kind of turned around. Her daughter has now got in control of the Vale again, which is very weird. And yes, it was a very interesting life she led. Next up we have Valasar Redmoon, who fought mountain clansmen at a young age, then went and served the Targaryens, and went across to Essos for the Second Sons. However, he did come back to Westeros, and he was in Weeping Town. He trained us, he trained the current lords of Weeping Town, and he made a name for his house that was separate from the Arryns, which he was a bastard of. And the Red Moon house has now got a little bit of prestige. It's now starting to cement itself as a proper house in Westeros. But he still had a goal to take over the Vale, which has not really been fulfilled by him. And maybe one of his children will take up the mantle and claim his rightful place as Lord of the Vale. Next up we have Daemon Lannister, bastard child of Tywin Lannister, who at a young age decided he really couldn't be staying in the villages nearby Castle Rock, in case Tywin found out who he was, because he felt it wouldn't go very well for him. So he left, he went off to Essos, and he formed his own little mercenary group. However, after a couple of years, the band was beaten in battle and he became very badly wounded. Luckily, there were some priests nearby who helped him, who healed him, and they said that they did it because of some magic from the Lord of Light. Daemon spent some time there. He wasn't initially convinced, but after a couple more years, he started to understand. He understood that R'hllor was the correct way. And he looked into the flames, and he believed that he saw a man that he could follow, and he joined us in the plan. He went off, he married a Westlander girl, and he had ambitions to perhaps get rid of the Lannisters. However, he died of poor health before that could happen. The last person to die this week is Tyler Stark, who, when he became of age, decided that he wanted to go and join the Night's Watch. So he set off from Winterfell, and on the way there, he was ambushed by bandits, who left him for dead. However, while he was kind of blacking out and not really conscious, he had a vision of fire and light, and when he came to, he saw a priest tending over him, who listened to his vision and told him it was a sign from R'hllor himself. After having this sign, he decided he had to spread the word, he had to tell everyone. So he came to Weeping Town and he started spreading the word. He went all around the town, he went around some of the nearby lordships, and unfortunately Lord of Estamont did not like the message that he was spreading. And Tyler, being the zealous person that he was, he wouldn't stop, he kept doing it. And unfortunately, Lord Estamont took him prisoner, and Tyler died in Lord Estamont's dungeons. Okay, that should be all the dead people gone through this week. I think I've got them all. I've tried and keep a good track of it, but we may miss one at some point, so if I do, please point it out. But we're going to go through all of the people who are alive right now. But there is something I didn't notice during the playthrough itself, is this little bit right here. How did Dorne get this? So Penny Hall, The Gold Road is underneath Dorne because... Oh, because there's a Jourdain? That might be it. Yeah, so we got Wait, why are the Paynes underneath Dorne? That's what I don't understand. Her father was underneath the Westlands, and then she... Oh, it must have been because she was already married to the Jourdain, and then when they married, she became under Dorne, maybe? Or like, what, when she got the land? That could be it. That seems a little bit odd if that's true. Also, her heir is Paxter Selmy, which seems very weird. Did she have a previous husband? Ah, she did. Okay. Things are going weird there. Anyway, not custom characters, so we're not going to spend too much time looking at that. Let's see what everyone's been up to. So we have Rhaenyra Hester Quadar, who is still in the Night's Watch. Not much has changed. Obviously, he's not going to have any children. So, yeah. Next one. Arian Longwaters has one fairly new child who is brooding and playful. I think that's the only new thing about him. Balerion Blackfire, nothing new going on. He is married, but he's married to a fairly old lady, so... Well, fairly old, I mean they're not going to have children. So chances are that might be the end of that particular Blackfire line, but who knows. Then we have Darren Unbar, who has one child who's new. Does he have is this a new wife? Oh no, did he marry Daenerys last time? Anyway, he's married to Daenerys now. So, and she is still a follower of the Moonsingers. Next one that we have is Dagon Valerian, who has one new child, I think. Sir Duncan Valerian. Ooh, and that he has two sirs underneath him. Very well done for him. Although, follower of the Faith of Seven. Follow the Faith of the Seven. Something's gone severely wrong, Dagon, who is also our uncle. It must be his wife is doing this. I don't know. Something's not right there, Dagon. Now we have the Red Priest Oris Valerian, who is also our uncle, who has many things going wrong with him, but he's also favored by R'hllor. He's a Red Priest. Where is he now? He's currently in Long Lake, which is still in Mere. Okay, cool. Next one we have is Dana, our mother, who has got some extra land, which is pretty cool. Don't need to say too much about her, because she's pretty much ingrained in the main kind of playthrough. Next one we have is Quintilian, another uncle, who is married to Rosalind, and they have two children who are fairly new, our cousins. Neither of them have anything special. Not really. She's ugly. Okay. Right. Next one we have is Godric Greyjoy, who has one new child, Baron Greyjoy. Okay, is that also a new wife? Yes, it is. Okay. Next one we have is Thor Goldmere, who is on his second wife. He married Anne Arryn previously, is now married to Rosalind Volmark, and he has one child. I'm trying to go a little bit quicker in this one in case you didn't notice, so if you don't like that, please tell me in the comments. Anyway, Tywin Rain, he's someone we definitely need to look at because he converted to the Faith of the Seven. What's up here? And he's got sympathy for Eastern, but something's not going right there. Maybe his new wife convinced him to switch. I don't know. Something's definitely... I think someone's gone terribly wrong there. He's got a mild illness, so maybe it's because he's a lunatic. That could be the only reason he turned from the Lord of the Light. Anyway, Davin Braxton has two children. One of them is Commander of Old Town, which is pretty neat. Commander Tion. But apart from that, not too much else going on. His daughter is a sworn shield to presumably this guy, the Great Hall. So yes, cool stuff going on there. Randall Spicer has had a daughter, Alice Spicer, who is apparently an idolizer. I was just going to say she was a star, because there's a star there, but apart from that, not too much else going on with him. Might be stuff happening later. Lauren Lannister has taken the Lordship of Lannisport. Don't know if he had that last time, but he has many children, which is fantastic. He's married to a ewe. Okay. Next one we have is Ivan Lannister, who is married to Lady Eliza Liddon of Deep Den, and they have many Liddon children. Many of them probably new from last time. Okay. Next one we have is Dagon Umber, who still holds Seal Shore. I'm fairly certain he held that last time. And he's just had a few more children, no new wives. Okay. Next one. William Umber. Don't think he has any new children. Maybe this one's a new child who has chest pains, which definitely isn't that good. She's married to a waterman. Okay, but apart from that, not too much happening here. He's not heir to anything. He is Castellan, though, which is cool. Next one we have is Anselm Stark, who is currently... Oh, this is interesting. Where's he off to? He is in Bravos. Okay, and he's a follower of the Moonsinger's faith. Weird. He's also a lunatic. I'm telling you, lunatic. They keep changing religions. He has one son, Rickard Stark. And this would be his second wife. First one was Lara Branch. Second one is Aureus? I don't know. Anyway, cool stuff happening over there in Bravos. Next one we have is Guinevere Ryder, who is married to Maria. And they have one daughter, Lenya Ryder. Pretty cool stuff. Next one, Brandon Locke. He is married to Pala Ashwood. That's been there for a while. I suspect his son's been here a while as well, but maybe not. A zealous son. Fantastic work there, Brandon. Right, next one that we have is Valentine Stark, who's married to Donella and has had no children currently. Next one we have is Torrin Karstark, who is not married and has no children currently. Next one we have is Aaron Karstark, who is married to Shira. I'm just interested. This is just a custom-made one? Okay. It was just weird because the graphical ethnicity is not normal for the North, but maybe there's like a random chance. Just because if she was randomly generated, you'd expect it to generate just a Northman. Anyway, weird. And one daughter, who currently has chest pains as well. It seems to be a thing with daughters. He's married to Duncan Liddon. Next one we have is Adam Mormont, who I believe is... oh, he's designated regent. I was going to say he's in line somewhere. Oh no, he's actually disinherited. His son has taken over Bear Island, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's the main stuff going on with him. He's had some more children, and I believe a new wife, maybe? Daisy Mormont. Oh, actually married another Mormont. I think it's a cousin of his. Okay, cool. Next one that we have is John Forrester, who is on his second wife, Anna Risewell, and they have 2 children. Well, he has 2 children. I don't think they have 2 children. Anyway. Next one that we have is Johan Forrester, who is married to Elena Glenmore, the one who I keep having the one thought about and never actually checking. And they have 2 children, Beth Forrester and Thorin Forrester. Follower of the Old God. Wait, is he follower of the Old God? No, his wife probably is, though. Yeah. Okay. Next one that we have is Jack Baratheon, who is married to Eleanor. And they have one child, Sleaze Baratheon. Okay. Next one that we have is Oris Barath, who is actually married to Princess Simbaya, the arrogant Co. of Last Lament. And they have several children. So he's gone all the way down to the Summer Isles with his claim. So there could be an interesting situation that happens later. Or maybe this... Well, if he dies, his children will get the claim and they could have the power of Last Lament, which isn't necessarily the weakest. They could potentially get some land in Westeros. It could be fun. Next one that we have is Sir Duran Dundarian, who is, yeah, he has one son. I think he had the son last time. Next one that we have is Kenneth Evenfall. Gonna go quicker through these because they're all in our court. Married to Prula Goodbrother and haven't had any children yet. Next one that we have is Asha Dane. Asha Dane is the what's it? Master of High Hermitage. Okay, interesting. So that is a count level title. Has a couple of children and is married to Lady Sinel Wells. Next one that we have is Gerald Dane, who is married to, well, this is his 3rd wife. The first 2 died of fever, died of complications relating to gout. Now married to Jane Westerling. Is that not the one who Rob marries? I think it might be. Anyway, he's a little bit depressed, but he has 2 children. Oh, his first 2 children died. That's probably why he's a little bit depressed. One was murdered, one was born stillborn. But yeah, he has 2 children. Right. Next one we have is Vorian Dane, who still has the normal titles that he's had. He's one-legged. I don't know if he started off one-legged. I suspect he may have lost a leg at some point. He actually has no current children. They were both born stillborn. His wife is unlikely to have any more children, but has cancer, so there's a chance that he will have another wife before everything runs out. And his heir is Lord Edric Dane, so that would kind of consolidate some of the Danes' titles under one kind of line of the family. Next one we have is Roderick Yernwood, who is on his second wife, Joanna, and they have one son, Durin Yernwood, who is strong. Next one we have is Samuel Bloodcat, who is married to Fryn the Unfaithful. Definitely not a good name. She has had two children. He has had one who was born stillborn, and he currently has the flu. Next one that we have is Ios. Is that Ios Sand? Who is now a maester. That's an interesting path for him. He's one-legged, who I'm almost certain he didn't start off one-legged, and he is now a maester for Eddard Stark, I believe. It's an interesting path for him. He's gone right off. He's still a master seducer, though. Okay. Wow. Interesting stuff there. Yeah, in fact, I think he started off with quick, attractive, homosexual, and I can't remember which else. Bastard doesn't count towards the number. One of these other ones. So, like, a whole bunch of these are new, which is very cool. Next one we have is Jack Tully, who very recently took over the Trident. He's married to a Martell, to Tanya Sand. So that's Oberyn's daughter. That's kind of cool. And they have several children. Yeah, we'll see how long he keeps the Trident. His heir is actually his son, so that's kind of cool. Unlikely to get murdered for his heir to be in charge, but we'll see. Probably more likely a rebellion will happen. Next one we have is Toby Tully. Wait, Jack Tully is still R'hllor, but Toby Tully converted to Faith of the Seven. Okay. Married to Lady Honora of the Red Fort, Lady Honora Piper. They have one child, Helia Tully, who is still a follower of R'hllor and is actually married to Mohor Vripwin. Okay, and his other son died after disagreement with Emil. Okay, so he's converted to the other side again. Still like all these conversions to other religions, that's just not on. Next one we have is Lucas Blackwood, married to Cass and has one child, William. Next one that we have is Alex Blackwood, who is married to Hara and has one child, Malera, who is actually weak, which isn't too good. Next one that we have is Anders Miller, who is on his second wife. He's married to Ratulla Ruttiger, and they have two children. Well, one child actually. I thought this one was still alive. Stillborn, and that's Tomard Miller. So that was that's with his current wife. He is a huge child who is a skilled fighter. That's kind of cool. Next one that we have is Robert Brightflame, who is married to Amara and has one child, Randa. Next one that we have is Dickon Redwine, who is now Lord of the Arbor. Don't know if he was last time. And he has three children, Lysana, Orton, and Tanya. Next one that we have is Edwin Tarley, also known as Edwin Stoneface, who has one child, Alaria Durwell. Okay, who is now married to Elwood Tyrell. Next one that we have is Andros Tarley, who has become a black brother, but still has a child, Wallace Tarley, who is married to Celise Tarley. The Tarleys are intermarrying here quite a lot, because I know the current Lord Tarley, or current Lady Tarley, which would be in Hornhill, is actually married to another, Tarley. So interesting stuff happening there. Next one that we have is Hall Florent, who is picking up more and more negative health traits, but has also been an adventurer. Oh, cool. He is married to Bethany Sloan, and they have a lot of children. Next one that we have is Keenster and Aaron from Gulltown, who is married to Elaine, and he has two children, Arwen and Rosalind. Next one that we have is Rotger Aaron, who is currently imprisoned. I believe that he recently lost the war for the Vale. And yeah, he's... it's interesting that his government switched to pirate fleet. I wonder if that's... oh wait. He's currently imprisoned by Lady Paramount Elaine Sloane. But he is... if he was to be released, he would join the pirates, which is an interesting path for him. And he has many, many children. Right, next one. Cormac Corbray, who is on his second wife. He is married to Marianne, and they have 2 children, Marwyn and Elaine. Next one that we have is Rickard Royce. He is married to Amabel. This is his second wife, and he has 1 child, Elidace Royce, who was married to his who was the daughter of his previous wife. She should marry soon because he's 14, I believe. Next one that we have is Josh Strong, who is married to Millicent, who's unlikely to have any children here. And she has no negative health traits, so she might be around longer than he is. Next one that we have, none of these are custom courtiers. And then we get back to this one, custom courtier. We have Lady Helen of the Trident, who is married to Sir Gilbert Bywater. She has become disfigured, and she has 3 children, Melora, Helicent, and Emma. Next one that we have is... this name always gets me. It's Mequinal Pike, who is currently like second in command to the Most Devout High Septon. Is a commander and a sworn shield to him as well, but is a follower of R'hllor, so very interesting stuff there. Wonder how that happened. Then we have Corran Dusk, who has become a Black Brother somehow. Not sure why. Then we have Morgana Lannister, who is on her second husband, Gran Wildhorn, who is from the house Good Brother, and she has 1 daughter, Jane. Next one that we have is Larys Lannister, who is married to Shira and has 1 daughter, Shella. Right, next one that we have is... so that was Larys. We now have Devon Trant, who is married to Zanata Zoe, who is another custom courtier. Does she almost have a boar? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he is married and they have 2 children, Gladden and Flora. Next one that we have is Isarella the Strong Stag. Great nickname, because I definitely didn't put that in myself. So that's cool. She's married to Horace Redwine of the Mermaid's Palace. And she has 1 child, Eleanor, who is ugly. Next one that we have is Tyrone Lannister, who is in the Second Sons. Okay, he's a general of the Second Sons, so he's pretty high up there. And he's married to Amari, and they don't currently have any children, but yeah, he's in the Second Sons. That's pretty cool. Wait, do I have this on the right map mode? What does this... why does this just say R'hllor? What does that mean? Oh, it means that literally R'hllor holds this land. Oh, okay. Wait, does it? R'hllor. Yeah, okay. So what this is saying is that the Red Priest of R'hllor holds that land. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just a religious title. That's like the religion of R'hllor itself. It's like if the Pope was to get extra land in the base game. Oh, that's really neat. Where were we on the list? We did Tyrone. Then we had Lyra Reed, who is married to Wendell Frey and have not yet had any children. These are from the second batch, so they're unlikely to have as much happening as the first batch. Then we have Arachne Weber, who's married to Ronald Wainwood, and they have 1 son, who is Ronald. Next one that we have is Serena Martell, who was previously married to Sir Armin Uller before he died of the Grey Plague, and they have 1 son, Florian. Who is actually a bastard, I think? Wait. She's not married to him, but he's not a bastard. How's that work? Because Brian Swan... oh, because he's a Black Brother. Okay, so they were married. Okay, I get it. So she remarried to the Swan, but then he became a Black Brother, so the marriage broke, so it's not on the marriage list. Okay, I get it. Next one we have is Lord Zol Thotho Zo. who is married to Lady Asha of Deep Down. And they have one son, Roose Crowell, who is quick. We already looked at Xanata Zoe. Now we have Aemon Blackfire, who is married to Elena, and have had no children currently. Next one that we have is Branton Risewell, who is married to Jonquil of Low Barrow, and they have one child, Jane Risewell. Next one that we have is Isaac Wayne Dane, who I believe was previously Isaac Martell, but is taking on a new name. This is his second wife, so previously married to Layla Mallister. He's now married to Lady Anis Baratheon, the daughter of Renly Baratheon, and sister to Ellen. So actually, yeah, that means that his son is the next in line to the Stormlands currently, which is very neat. Where was he in the list? There he was. Yeah, so his son is next in line to the Stormlands, which is, yeah, very, very, very cool. Right, next one that we have is Taris Stone, who is now taking the name Taris Paybridge. He is married to Tiora, previously married to Sansa Stark, and he has two children. One of his children died stillborn. Donella is the daughter of Sansa Stark, and Wallace is the son of Sansa Stark. The next one that we have is Trider Blackmane, who is not yet married, but not to worry, he's still got some years left in him. Next one that we have is James the Tickler, who is not yet married, but again, still has years left in him. Next one that we have is Roland, who, again, not married, years left to marry. Then we have Bentos, who has married to Elise, and they have one daughter, Liza. Next one that we have is Stevren Stormy, who is married to Jonquil, and they have one son, Cohen. Next one that we have is Jaspasius Estamont, who is not yet married, but still could if he wanted to. Next one we have is Madia Stokeworth, who is married to Gawain Harding, and they have two children currently. They have Janice and Hugh. Next one we have is Zan Damorius, who was Zan Targaryen, who... Right, his story, he was Zan Targaryen, came to our court, left our court, went and became a faceless man, became a... he left that, became Spymaster of Bravos, left there, is now currently just in the Bright Banners camp, which probably means that he plotted against his liege in Bravos and was trying to be imprisoned, and then ran away. He is currently on his second wife, Belgrade, so it's likely that he will have children. Well, I mean, apart from this, the homosexual trait does lower fertility, but his wife is also fairly young. Oh, and is pregnant, so there we go. Next one that we have is Draken Drum, who is currently Lord of Oldwick, which has gone very well for him. He's acquired Red Rain, the drum sword, and yeah, he has a sympathy for the drowned god now. He also has three children, Alanis, Barbary, and Dunstan. Okay, next one we have is Vaynor Blackfire, who is married to Scalera, but not much else happening there. Next one we have is Frederick Selsigar, who is married to Taita, and they have one child, Pate, who is huge. Fantastic. Next one we have, is not custom courtier, is the Lord of the Lady of the Vale. So that is all of them. That is us going through all the custom courtiers. Thank you for watching. Next week we are definitely going to have the next batch of custom courtiers in. And I may delay it by, I did say this at the start of the episode, but I may delay it by a couple of days so I can make sure that that is actually true. And I hope to see you all then. Again, if there are any kind of feedbacks for, like, if you have any feedback for this kind of video, then please leave it in the comments, because I'm still working out how I want to do it. I think going a little bit quicker works out quite well, because it makes the video length reasonable, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.